Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the first chapter of our syllabus, that is a practical based lesson, and here we are going to learn the design of form using Composer. This is the title of this chapter, designing a form using Composer software, right? Just for illustration purpose, here on the screen, I have opened one ready-made form, which is a part of our syllabus. See, we know about the form. We are constantly dealing with the so many type of forms in our day-to-day life, right? We might have filled some school forms or universities forms or something like that. Even when we buy something online, there also we just give our data in the means of forms. So basically, form is what? It's a one way to collect the user's data. Form is basically used to gather the user's information by the servers, by the institutes, right? Most of the websites are having uh, forms, right? And through this form, they can collect the data from the users. See, in our syllabus, we are just concerned with the form layout. In short, we'll just learn how to create form design. We are not going to make it functional. Before I start with this topic, first I just want to say you what happened in the functional forms. See, functional form is जो properly work करे, जो users के data collect करे. So functional forms is having three components: form layout, which we are going to study in our syllabus, but along with that, every form has the connected database also, but this database is stored on the server. Server means जहाँ पे website store है वो place, right? So every website, every functional form is having a database file, so that whatever form details are filled by the users are stored in the database in a respective places. And one more thing is there in the form. That is what See, form data we are filling from our end. Our end means client side. Client means we. We can use our laptop, desktop, or even mobile or tablet just to fill the forms. But after we press submit button, actually where this details goes to the respective server, and they are stored in their particular websites over internet, with the help of internet. So who take care of this data transfer? This data must be travel in a secure manner. It should be stored in a proper way. It should be stored in an organized way. So to handle all this process, the form handling codes are required. And for writing this code, some scripting languages can be used. Okay. So scripting languages program is also overall. Functional form has three parts: form layout, which is visible to user. Right now, the screen you are just watching is a form layout, form design. But whatever data we type, and when we press lastly submit button, the form handling program will be executed. And this form handling program, as per its coding, it will take care of data transfer and store the data on the remote server in the database file in a secure and organized manner. So database file plus form handling program plus your form layout. This three makes your form functional. But as per our syllabus, we are just going to learn how to make a form layout. Means we'll just learn how to create this kind of form. So see, before I start this, first I just want to introduce the components of the form. See, basically in this form, you can see two things. These are called labels. Enter name, enter password, select hobby. All these can be referred as a labels, right? And these all are referred as a controls, form controls. The first one is called text box, where one can type the name. Say for example, okay, I just type a name. Then second box is called password box, where whatever data you type, that appears in the form of dot dot dot, right? Then this controls square boxes are known as check boxes. Okay, below the check boxes, this rounded one is called radio button. This one, rounded one, this one is called radio button. Both the checkbox and radio button are meant for similar purpose. They just provide some details to the users, options to the users, and users are supposed to select, not type. Users are supposed to select from the available options. But there is one difference between these two, and that is, you know what? In a checkbox, one can do multiple selection, even all also. Right now, you can see I have selected all the three hobbies. That is possible. But in radio button, one can select any one. Here you can observe, as soon as you click on male option, the female will be deselected. As soon as you click on female, the male will be deselected. So in a radio button, one can select only one option. That is the main difference between these two controls. Then the next one, where the box looks little bit bigger, actually it's called multi-line text box. तो वैसे देखा जाए तो ये सिंगल लाइन टेक्स्ट बॉक्स है और इसको हम नॉर्मली मल्टी लाइन, इसको एक्चुअली इनपुट बॉक्स भी बोलते हैं. सो this one is a multi-line text box where one can type some descriptive data. So it is preferable for the details like address, comments, suggestion, or any type of descriptive data where one wants to type not only in single line but multiple lines. So for that, this multi-line text box can be used. Here you can see the height. Say just I'm randomly typing some details. Say for example, just like 204, 203. Ravi apartment, comma. Now, if you press enter, your cursor goes down and you can type the details. See, right now you can see at the time you are able to see three lines, but that doesn't mean you can write only in three lines. If you type more, then automatically your details can be scrolled. See, to see the other details. Now you can use the scroll bar to see the details. So by default site, it's actually coming to three lines, but you can change as per your need. Even not only height, the width of the box also can be changed. And the last control, the sixth control as per our syllabus is, this is called drop down menu. This is also known as a pull down menu, or it is also referred as a selection list. You can see here city, where the first option is select city. Actually, I have created that way, that's why. And when you click on its arrow, the name of other cities are visible. So one can select any one option from that. So you can see this control is also similar to radio button. Okay. So once again, I repeat all the six controls of our syllabus that we are going to create: text box, password box, check box, radio button, multi-line text box, and selection list, right? Besides that, there are some other controls also, but in our syllabus, we have the six controls plus two regular buttons that normally we found in most of the form. One is called submit button and second is called reset button. These buttons, here I have written submit. Actually, this is called caption. Caption means button के ऊपर जो आप text display कर रहे हो, right? And here, instead of reset, I have changed the caption. So that is possible. I'll show you afterwards how to read. So overall, we are going to learn how to create a form with this kind of controls. Okay. But this form can be created in two ways. What is the title of this chapter? Designing a form using Composer. But that will come in the second part. Today, we are going to learn how to create form through HTML text. See, it's not a normally a part of your practical, but still for theory purpose and to understand the logic of this controls, it is necessary that you should learn the form through HTML text. Because see, we all know okay, every web page on internet has HTML codes and your browser is able to show you the contents of any HTML, any web page because of its HTML code. So likewise, this form, which is right now on your screen, is also having its HTML code. So first, we just discuss what HTML codes are there for this creating or creation of these controls. So we will learn the HTML code for creating all these form controls. So overall, as per our syllabus, we learn the HTML code for total 8 things, 6 control and 2 buttons. Okay. Once again, form is a means of getting input from the user. It consists of mainly 2 things. Labels are the text that describe what we are supposed to enter, and the controls are the things in which user can give their response. Now, mostly, see, in your syllabus total six controls are there, but out of these six we can classify them into two broad categories. You can see text box, password box, and multi-line box. These three controls are in such a way that where user are supposed to type, while the remaining three, that is checkbox, radio button, and a pull down menu, in which users are supposed to select. Okay, what is the difference between checkbox and radio button? Multiple selection are allowed. Here, multiple selection are not allowed. Then, the question, when to take this pull down menu? When I have many options. Say, for example, under one topic, instead of just like two or three or four, I am having suppose 7 to 8 different values. So instead of putting that much of radio buttons on your screen, it's better that you can use for pull down menu, which will save a space and your form look decent. So there's a reason for using the pull down menu. We'll talk about them in detail. Now, the beginning part of your chapter describe the various controls which is needed for creation of form, right? So first of all, to discuss the HTML tag, you can use any editor. See, HTML was done even in the 10th standard as well as some primary level also. So you know basics of HTML, and on the assumption of that, we can start with our regular concept, the course which is used to create HTML form, right? See, for writing HTML practicals, you can use any text editor. One can use Notepad or some other software like WordPad, or even MS Word also can be used. But as per the convenience and to make it easiness, and even this also software which is a part of our syllabus, here I am using Skite editor. Skite, SCIT, Skite editor for writing HTML code because it's a good editor. So see, first, as you all know, the basics of HTML, that is always HTML documents start with the HTML tag first and its closing tag, just I'm putting here /HTML. Now inside HTML, normally it is having two parts, head and body. So first you had head tag /head, it's a closing of head tag, and then after you start with the body tag and /body. Okay, body and /body. Got it? Now inside head, you can use title tag, right? Just for giving some title, you can give any title. Say for example, I'm just giving title like registration form, and it's closing tag /title. Yeah, there actually there's a general thing that one can see. HTML tags are not case sensitive. Remember this. HTML tags are not case sensitive. So it's not compulsory to write in capital. Remember this. Now, these are common things of HTML. And what I prefer always, whenever you start your practical part, it's always a good habit to save your file in the beginning. So that because of that, I just first save my file. Yeah, save or save as. You can give any name. Say for example, I'm just giving name like form2.html is must to recognize it as HTML file. .html. These are common things of HTML. And now see the benefit of this software. As soon as you saved as HTML file, so now this software recognize HTML tag automatically, and that's why you can see on your screen the tags are coming with the blue colors, or because of this software. Now, if you want, you can check your output, but we know that as we have not written anything within the body tag, so in output nothing will come. Now, see, if you observe my ready-made file, just I am again going to show you that ready-made file here. If you observe my ready-made output, so first you can see this is called normal heading. So if you want, you can put heading, and it's always better to put heading. Now see, do not get confused in these two words, title and heading. See, title tags are used to provide title of your web page, which will be displayed in the title bar or maybe the title tab, while the headings are the headings for your contents. So for giving heading in HTML, we have 6 levels of heading, H1 to H6 text. Here I'm using the tag H1 just for giving heading, H1 tag, and you can give any heading. Say for example, I just give heading like admission form and slash title. Sorry, slash h1. Now, uh, now it's we are having some contents so that I can share output with you. Now, see, after saving my file, I have added some content. So you can see here one asterisk type of symbol. That means that your contents are not saved yet, any correction. So it's better that before you check your output, you can save it manually. Otherwise, when you click on, see, tools and click on go option, this is a way to check your output in SkyReader, easy way. If you want to see, even shortcut key is F5. So just by pressing F5 also, you can see your output in a browser window. So see, right now I just want to see. So first I save my file, Control S, and now go to tools and click on go. So your output, see the output for your work. See this one is your, see this one. This one is my ready-made content which I use to describe what is form. And now whatever work we have done, its output is here. We all know that only heading has come as well as title. This is the title. See, I told you title tag is used for describing title, which is visible in either title bar or page tab, web page tab. This is web page tab, and this is your heading. But now the real code which is used for creating form. So see, what tag are used? So from here, your 12th standard practical begins. अभी तक हमने जो कोड यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है, that is the basics of HTML, and your books assume that you have already studied HTML in 10th standard or maybe at the primary level, so you know about this thing. Means they have not given much more description about all this text because they assume that you all know this thing. So directly their discussion is started with the form tag. See, in HTML, the main tag that is used to create a form is form. The name of tag is form tag, and it is also having its closing tag. See, this is the right way of doing HTML practical. Whenever you start any tag, it's better that at the same time you put its closing tag also at the respective places slash form. Now, see, inside the form, actually this pair of form tag, opening form tag and closing form tag, this pair is referred as a form container. Why? Because it is going to contain a detail for the entire form. Whatever codes, whatever details are there, everything will be written within this only. Means it's going to contain the code of the entire form. That's why it is called form container. Now inside form container, we may put labels as well as we may put HTML tag which is used to create form. I just want to make it clear. मैंने आपको जो sample form दिखा ना, it was a well aligned. There was a background color, there was some other background colors also like sky blue and yellow. All the forms controls are properly aligned. This all possible because I have used that concept, but not in my HTML code. Again, I repeat, this chapter's title is what? Creation of form using Composer software. अभी तक मैंने आपके सामने Composer software screen share भी नहीं किया because it will come in the next topic. Today, we are discussing the first part of your chapter 1 in which they are explaining the HTML tags which is required to create form. So here, we are not bothered about the alignments and looks and design. We'll just make a simple form. Our main priority is what you know. We just want to create a form in which all the controls are there. Alignment and design and all this we will do secondary matter. So first, I just simply type a label. Suppose I just want to add text box. Normally we use text box for username or student name or candidate name. See, on which topic you are creating a form, based on that you can take appropriate label. As it's an admission form, so I can write here enter student's name. And if you do not want to write enter word, then simply write your labels like student's name. Labels you can write in small letter also, capital letters also. It's your choice. Student's name. This is a label. If you check its output, see, I'll just show you. Save it and go to your output window to check your output. This is the example. This is our real. Now refresh. Refresh one. So you can see the label has come. Okay, this label has come. But for us, what is more important? How to add a text box in front of label. How to add a text box in front of label. So for that, there may be the HTML tag. Okay. For that, there may be the HTML tag, which is used to create. Just give me 1 minute. We want to add text box first. So I just want to share a code with you. See, in our syllabus, we have a 6 control and 2 buttons. Out of these 8 things, 6 things are added by only one tag, that is called input tag. So in HTML, there is one input tag which is used to create so many controls, but not all, remember. Through this input tag, one can create text box, one can create password box, checkbox, radio button, and last two, that is submit and reset buttons also. But naturally, if one tag is used for the 6 controls, then how the browser recognize that right now what I want? So for that purpose, in input tag, we can use type attribute. Inside the input tag, we have to write type attribute is equal to its value is text. Okay, input type equal to text. So you can see the importance of this. Input is the name of the tag, type is the attribute, and text tells what control we want to add. Okay, now just check it, save it, and check your output here. Refresh I am doing. So you can see the text box has come. So in short, what HTML tag is used to create text box? This is the basic HTML tag. But here we'll do one more thing. Whenever we create form controls, right? It is always recommended that every control must be identified by some unique name, some identity. And for this purpose, inside this input tag, we use another attribute that is called name. Name equals to what? So your name is of our choice. You can give any name. If you want, you can give name like A, B, C, X, Y, Z, anything. Okay. But what I prefer, the name that you give to your control must be related to its purpose. As this text box is for getting student name, so you can give name here like student name. You can give name in a short like S name, or you can give name like ST name, or simply you can write like student. So it's your choice. Or even if you want to make it even shorter, just give name like SN. But what is preferred, your name should be meaningful. The name that you give, the name that you give to the control, it should be meaningful. Yes, and one more thing, I just do not prefer to use capital letter here. I'll tell you reason for that. So I am giving name S name. So right now you again observe this code. This is a HTML tag which creates a text box in your form. What is the name of tag? Input. But input tag is a multi-purpose. It is used to create total 6 controls. So how can browser recognize that which control is required? So that is specified by the type attribute. Type equals to text. And in every control, recommended to give name for that name attribute along with the name of your choice. See the output first. Save it and check your output. Question, where is that name that I have given? S name. Actually, that name is for internal purpose. I'll show you afterwards what is the use of that name, right? So in short, name is just for giving internal identity, which can be used later on, afterwards, not now. Okay. So the first line is ready. Now, on second line, I just want to add a password box, like enter your password, and I want password box. So first of all, we all know that in HTML, line breaks are never created automatically. You know what it means? What is the meaning of this? Line breaks are not created automatically. See, here I am writing on a next line, like enter. I just put capital just to make it unique. Enter password. But if you see the output, in your output, this text will continue with the same line, because in HTML, line breaks are not done automatically. For that, you have to use appropriate tag, which is either BR tag or P stands for paragraph. I just prefer P tag for paragraph. So it will be considered as a content for the next paragraph. It will be considered as the content for the next paragraph. See, you can see the next line, the label has come, that is enter password, but only label. Now in front of this label, again I want to add password box. So what I'll do, input type equals to password, and again for this also we give name. So name equals to, and again name is of your choice, it should be read to purpose. आप चाहो तो यहाँ पे XYZ भी लिख सकते हो, ABC भी लिख सकते हो, but these names are not self-explanatory. Means by the name one cannot recognize. So it is better that this is a password box. So we can give name like PSD. You can give like P, P1, PS, or even you can give name like password also. I just name gave PSD password. Okay. So right now on your screen, you can see two different HTML tags for creating text box and password box. Just save it and check the output. And even you can also check in your output. Just click here and type some name. Okay. Like I am typing name, meet, and here password I just type. So you can see this is password box. But I want to show you one thing which is important for theory. See, this input tag has type attribute. Why? Because using this input tag, one can create 6 different controls: text box, password box, checkbox, radio button, submit, and reset button. If you write here checkbox, it is going to create checkbox. Just for your reference, I'll show you. Actually, we are going to create password box only. But what happens if you write checkbox here? See, just look at the output. So now the checkbox has come instead of password box. Same way, if you write here radio, just radio, not radio button, see the output. So round 8 radio button has come. Suppose if you put here input type equal to submit, see, it's not necessary to write in capital. You can write value in smaller. See, HTML is not case sensitive, remember. So there is no compulsion that you write only in capital or in small. So you can see the submit button has come, but one thing you observe, the button is submit button, but its caption is submit query because it's the default one. But afterwards I'll show you when I add a proper submit button, how to change its caption. And last one, if you write here input type equal to reset, so this can cause a reset button in your output. See, so overall, what you observe, the tag is input, but what you write along with the type attribute, that will decide which control will appear on your screen. And it takes total 6 values: text for text box, password for password box, checkbox for a square that checkbox, radio for radio button, submit for submit button, and reset for reset button. Now, I just want to do one thing. Sometimes due to some typing mistake, say for example, instead of reset, by mistake I type reset. That's a natural thing. We can make some typing mistake. So see what happened. As this is not a valid value, so normally if we do not give value, what we consider, we may not get output. Just check it. This is before I do refresh. Now I'm doing refresh. What you observe, instead of reset button, it has added text box. Why? Actually, what we are expecting, here, if we do something wrong, then there should not be output. But here, what we got, as the spelling of reset is written in wrong way, so instead of showing error or instead of leaving it blank, what it do, it show the text box. Why? The reason is, by default, if you do not mention type, then input tag create text box. Or if you mention type in wrong way, then also suppose अगर आप यहाँ पे ये जो input type equal to text box है, if you do not write it also ना, then also you can see your text box. So the reason for behind that is, by default the input tag takes, so the type, sorry, by default the type attribute of input tag takes the default value, that is text. Okay, so if you do not mention type, it will be assumed as a text box. If you make some mistake in type, then also it will be assumed as a text. So that means कि अगर आपको text box add करना हो ना, तो उसके लिए आपको type mention करने की compulsory नहीं है, means it's not necessary. But just to avoid confusion, I prefer that type it. बाकी इसके बिना भी, so what I just want to conclude here, कि to add a text box, putting type equal to text is not compulsory, but this is only for text box. Remember, अगर आपको पासवर्ड बॉक्स चाहिए तो आपको कंपलसरी इनपुट टाइप इक्वल टू पासवर्ड लिखना ही है. रेडियो बटन चाहिए तो भी आपको टाइप लिखना पड़ेगा. चेक बॉक्स के लिए भी आपको लिखना ही पड़ेगा. बस खाली टेक्स्ट बॉक्स के लिए ये ऑप्शनल है. रिमेंबर दिस. See, so right now we discuss two controls, text box and password box. And for this today's session, I just want to show you two more things, how to add submit and reset button. See, the entire form is not possible in one session. It's not good for you. So I just divide this session into two. Today our focus is on four controls, and tomorrow in the next session we'll cover the entire form. Okay, so text box and password box are ready. Now it's time to add submit button on a next line. So as we know, first of all, for a line break I use p tag. Yes, and one more thing to remember. See, मैं यहाँ पे अपने कोडिंग में जो बीच में एक ब्लैंक लाइन लीव कराऊँ ना, it is just to make our code readable. It's not compulsory. Remember, आप चाहो ऐसे डायरेक्ट, but it makes total clumsy. Means पूरा एकदम मिक्सअप हो जाएगा. One cannot recognize the code. That's why I put line break. Remember this. Now, see, in my sample form, you observe that submit button was only a button. It means before that there was no caption, but on the button there was a caption. In short, what I want to say, जैसे हमने यहाँ पे टेक्स्ट बॉक्स है तो उसके पहले हमने यहाँ पे लेबल लिखा हुआ है, एक्चुअली इट्स कॉल्ड लेबल. सो वैसे सबमिट बटन के लिए यू कैन सी बिफोर सबमिट बटन नथिंग इज रिटन, बट ऑन दैट बटन सबमिट इज रिटन. दैट्स कॉल्ड कैप्शन. सो फर्स्ट, why I show you know, because here while adding a submit button you do not have to write any content like enter submit button or like this. Simply you can put input tag, input type equals to submit. This is enough for adding submit button. But again, as we are giving name to every control, so it's better that you can give name to this also. So for that, name equals to, you can give any name. Say for example, like name equal to sub submit. Okay, or you can give like s1, you can give like b1 for button 1. Okay, just I am writing sub just for submit. Now see the output. This is the code for adding submit button. Save it and check the output here. When you see the output, so you can see the button has come, submit query. But now we'll discuss how to add, how to change the caption. Okay, if you want to change the caption, then we need to add one more thing here in this code. It's not compulsory, it is used when you want to change caption, and for that the attribute is value. Value attribute is equal to, and whatever you want to write in caption, say for example I want to show the caption like submit form, then you write here submit form. If you want to show that caption in capital, then write in capital submit form. Now see it, check the output here. So you can see now your submit button is shown with a caption called submit form. Only submit is also possible. Remember, if you want to show only submit, then just cancel this form. Only write submit. So your button will come with the submit caption. Same way, I want to add reset button next to it. So here you observe one thing. Even though I write this code on a new line, see, input, this is a tag for adding reset button. Input type equals to reset. This will cause a reset button. वैसे तो यहाँ पे इतना ये कोड इनफ है, बट जैसे हम हर एक को नेम देते हैं वैसे इसको भी नेम प्रोवाइड करें. नेम इक्वल्स टू short name we can give like res. Once again I'm telling you, all these names are of your choice. ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने जो लिखा है वही सेम टू सेम आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे आप अपने हिसाब से कोई भी नेम यूज कर सकते हैं. हाँ, बट फॉर दिस देयर इज नो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी. These are the fixed words. You have to write as it is. If you write wrong words, then as you know, for wrong values by default it text box. कई बार स्टूडेंट्स के प्रैक्टिकल में ऐसा होता है, लास्ट में सबमिट बटन अपीयर ही नहीं हो रहा है. They have some query why the submit button is not coming, and instead of submit button why the text box has come. So maybe possible that you might have written a wrong spelling of submit. Because of that you will find the text box instead of submit button. So make sure whenever you are not getting your expected controls in your output and see you are getting text box, then there may be some mistake in the value. But remember, as it's not a part of 12th standard practical, see in your practical exam as per the board guideline, we are not going to ask practical of HTML form, but for theoretical knowledge, this is must for MCQ point of view. That's why I explain you. Reset. See the output reset button. And here also we can change the caption. Instead of reset, suppose you want to show here clear form. So for that, again, you have to write value is equal to clear form. See. So today we discuss here total 4 controls. Alignments are not proper here. That's a secondary matter. What I mean here, alignment. Student name, immediately after this label, the control has come. As this label is little bit lengthy, so this control is just moving little bit on right hand side part. And in my sample example, as you can see, in my sample example, all controls are equally aligned. This is done in Composer software. Actually, it's possible here also, but I do not want to create any unnecessary extra code just to create confusion. So that's why I just show the basic code. So today in a session, we talk about how to add text box, how to add password box, submit button and reset button. And you observe one thing in common. All these 4 are done by only one tag, which is input. But to add a different controls, we use type attribute. 2 more controls are pending, which is done by input. And these 2 are checkbox and radio button. And then the next 2 controls are done by different codes that will be covered in my next session. So meanwhile, I'm just closing this session right now. I hope you learn and you enjoy this session. We'll continue with the next topic in our next video. Okay, bye, take care.